Good afternoon and welcome to Stacy's Closet. If you're here, that means you're here on purpose, which means you have purpose. Now, let's get into it. So, my jacket and the jumpsuit is just a jumpsuit, you guys, one piece black jumpsuit. My black jacket came from Amazon.com. Y'all know my favorite place. And my shoes, I'm so sorry. My shoes are from Temu. Get into it, honey. They're fierce. And the earrings, simply 10. My nails, y'all already know, lgirlznails. The hair, my hair is from, her name is Locklear. That's who did my hair. Y'all listen. Everything is in the description, but I'm telling you, listen. The fabulous, they get my nails look tight and my hair right, okay? So again, now, today is going to be a little different, and I'm going to tell you why. One reason why is because I try to stay away from politics, right? Because I know that everybody has their opinions and all of that, and so I'm going to speak on something that is probably not going to be what you would consider typical Stacy's closet, right? So we're out of my closet. I've already told you where my outfit came from. Now we're going to jump right into the politics. So I've been doing a little, little homework again, just because what was going on in Iowa with the whole, the Republican thing. I wanted to, just catch up on that. I tend to try to stay away from that foolishness, but again, I try to keep my eye on it or whatever. So I was listening to the foolishness, right? So Haley, I know some of you people are like, "Oh, well, she's not Donald Trump." But if you actually listen to her, she tells you she believes in the same thing. She holds his stuff. She holds the same values. That's per her. That is what she said. She holds the same values as he does. Then I got to thinking, so if she holds the same values, are we not looking at another female version of Donald Trump? Uh, and we already know some women, that's all. Some women will vote against women that in fact will hurt there's they will vote on people that actually will affect themselves. So we already know that they will vote people in that then will actually is not a benefit to women. Now again, I don't see this. This is not a women's cause. This is not a women's right movement that I know. I just want you to be wise, right? And so being wise and using my wisdom as I try to do sometimes, and I try to read. So as I was reading again, I realized that Haley said she believes in the same thing Donald Trump does. And then so I was like, so I got to looking at, which I hardly ever do because Fox Network typically is not where I want to, get my news from, because a lot of their views are actually racist. A lot of their views are against what would help us as black people, right? So I got to looking into, just listening to Fox, and I listened to their rhetoric. Then I started doing a little homework. Then I realized something, and I want y'all to do your homework. You don't have to take my word. I want you to do your homework on your own. The same person that owns Fox Network that talks against black Americans, that talks against any movement or anything that would help us, they talk against it. He is the same one that owns the Tubi network. Now, you're probably like, okay, well, what does that mean? That means he is actually getting the black dollar to finance his news network, basically to actually come against us. So we're funding this man. We're actually, every subscription that you have to Tubi or whatever, let me just tell you, he's getting money. He's getting paid. So he's funding his network that is actually teaching a bunch of anti-black propaganda, right? They are the same people that tried to make it seem as the Black Lives Matter movement was some racist rhetoric and we needed to stomp them out. They were a gang, right? But they don't speak against the fine people of the KKK, right? So as I studied more and realized that he owns Tubi, and then I realized something. Now I want you to go back again. Do your own homework. Do your own research. Because I want Black America to understand we hold more power than we actually realize. Our black dollar holds a lot of power than we actually realize. And if we spent our black dollar the way that we should and on ourselves, think about where we would be. Think about how far we would be if we pushed our own black dollars into our own black networks. That's all I'm saying. Now, I want you to go back and I want you to do research because just so you know, when Fox started, he didn't have anything, really. He didn't have the power or authority that he has right now. You want to know how he got it? He got it off of In Living Color. Go do your homework. So he had In Living Color on his network. And if you recall, every time In Living Color came on, almost every black person in the country was tuned in to watch. Okay? Now, guess what happened? That upped his revenue. He was making money. He was now able to call some shots because his network was booming, right? Because of the black dollar and the black people that he had, right? And when I say the black people that he had, I'm talking about In Living Color, how he had them. And so basically we were following our black people. We were watching In Living Color because they were funny to us. So again, he began to make money off of it. Now I want you to go back and do your history. So much so, and let me just tell you, so back when he was doing In Living Color, whenever the Super Bowl would come out, In Living Color would put on their own Super Bowl show, right? It was phenomenal. It was so phenomenal that people were leaving the halftime to come watch the halftime show with In Living Color, right? So then the NFL said, oh, wait a minute. If they are making money off this halftime show, we need to do that. Thus, the halftime show was created, the NFL. I told y'all before, we are the blueprint. So guess what? They laid down the blueprint. They saw that Black America would put in their black dollars to what we like. And so that's what happened. The NFL started their own halftime show, but it came from In Living Color. Now, after this started, guess what happened? Now let's go back a little bit. I want you to think about something. And I don't even watch football. But what I do is I read, right? So football used to not be on Fox. It used to be on ABC and NBC. And, I think CBS. But it was not on Fox, right? After that whole In Living Color thing and they realized that they were getting all this money in, guess what happened? They went into a contract with the NFL. NFL moved from off of CBS and NBC and all that, and they went over to Fox. Fox began to make money. If you go back, I want you to go back on your own, and I want you to see it for yourself. They began to make money, and then you know what they did? They started to cancel black TV shows that they had on their network. You know why? Because they had made the money that they needed to make. They already had black American dollars now. So they didn't need those black shows anymore to get the black people watching. Because now they had the NFL. So they didn't need us anymore, right? Okay, so guess what happened? It became a digital world. A lot of people started watching a lot of these streaming shows, right? Fox Network also, they weren't doing, their news network wasn't doing very well, right? So he was losing money. Oh, then he decided, well, before when I got the black dollar, I made a lot of money. So what did he do? He created Tubi. Now you have all these black actors going over there. Well, I don't. I'm gonna say black actors. Okay, we're gonna leave it at. I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm not gonna knock anybody. I'm not gonna knock your hustle. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. But we had a lot of black folk going over there, and guess what they show? They show a lot of black movies. They do. But guess what they're financing? Their news network that is anti-black. Do your research. I'm not telling you to do anything. I'm not. I'm just offering you information that if you actually go and do your homework about, you will see we actually have more power than we realize. We would rather, we want to throw our money and we want to talk about how racist Fox is. But I'm going to just tell you, if we don't educate ourselves, then guess what? They'll continue with the rhetoric that they're doing because we're financing it. We are literally financing it. We are backing a lot of these companies that is throwing money into things that are harmful to Black America. Think about something, you guys. They didn't have a problem when all of these officers was killing Black people. It didn't matter. They weren't hollering, let's defund the police. They didn't care anything about that. So what? We're animals anyway. We were criminals because we were born Black, right? Now, January 6th comes. You got all these white people out there. They're hurting officers. They're abusing them. They're doing all this thing. Now that they're actually being arrested and they're being charged and they're being sent to jail, now they want to defund the police. They want to defund the FBI. Now you, what? Wait a minute. You were pro-police when they were killing us. But now you want to defund them? Again, you guys, I'm not telling you to vote any which way. What I am going to say to you is this. When we sit around and we say that our vote doesn't count, that is ignorance. It is ignorance. Our vote does count, which is why Donald Trump didn't win. Not only does our vote count, our black dollars. I don't even care if you are limited in funding. I want you to understand something. Our black dollars hold a lot of power. We had so much power. We made the NFL start a halftime show. Think about what kind of power we hold. We hold so much power. We made somebody create a whole network just so they could stream black shows. Why? Because our black dollar counts. We just need to use it more wisely, and we need to use it in areas that actually benefit us. Again, I'm not telling you how to vote. I want you to educate yourself for yourself. Not just for yourself, but also for your children. Because I'm telling you, we are actually more powerful than we give ourselves credit for. You know, I joke a lot about how when I was growing up, they used to pick at me about my big lips and how, oh, you got big old lips, right? Now it's funny to me that you have people out here spending all this money to get the lips that God gave me already, right? He gave, and so many others, right? So many other beautiful black women and just women in general. I honestly, I'm going to just tell you, I want to make this clear because sometimes, I've had people say, oh, you put you put white people down. I don't. I absolutely, I love everyone. I honestly, truly do. I think that every woman in her own way and in her own right is beautiful. I also think that black women are absolutely gorgeous, not just because of the outside of us, but the inner strength that it takes to be a black woman. Because we get dumped on so much and we still hold our head up high and we still walk with grace. We are still that phenomenal woman. Okay? I'm just telling you. So again, I'm not knocking any woman, any race. I'm just saying we are at black women are absolutely beautiful. When I tell you this black girl magic, when we use it properly, we are unstoppable. But again, we've got to understand what power we possess. And again, think about something. We as black people, we can wear something and the next week it's on every magazine. And you're like, okay, I want you to think about something. Black women, as many braids and cornrows that we put in our hair. Okay. Now all of a sudden you see other races. That's what I'm gonna say. You see other races wear, and all of a sudden they're on the cover of magazines or whatever. They didn't create that. We know we're the creators of that. So again, that's why I'm like, we have black girl magic. Hold your head up, beautiful. Hold your head up. But I do want you to educate yourselves, okay? Because again, I feel like we are in a crossroads where it comes to voting. We are in a crossroads when it comes to fighting for our rights and staying in a position to where we can hold some type of power, because they are trying to strip away everything that so many of our ancestors died for and fought for. They're trying to strip that away. And I know that they say history repeats itself. But the part that I want history to repeat is that we come together and we fight together. Now, I've said it before. When they were out there marching, when Martin Luther King was marching, when Malcolm X was marching and speaking, it wasn't just black people that were out there. Okay? So let's be clear. It wasn't. It absolutely wasn't. So when I say let's come together, I mean just that. Across the board, let's come together and fight for our rights. Let America be America that it was meant to be. Because America has never been America to me. And I say that, and I want y'all to look that up, okay? That is, again, that's a poem. Y'all know I love to read and I love poetry. That is my thing. So again, I just want y'all listen, okay? I love poetry. And I just think that was just phenomenal. I love that particular poem, okay? But again, I'm going to say it again. I just want you to educate yourself, and I want you to understand something. If we want to vote for Haley, if you decide that you want to vote for Haley, I need you to understand she herself has said she has the same values and a thought process as Donald Trump. So she is going to be a female version of him. If you look at DeSantis, I want you to understand something. Y'all seen what he did to Florida? He absolutely is destroying it. Anytime anybody can destroy, like he destroyed the whole state. Do you see the foolishness, the absolute foolishness that he is doing? He is trying to erase history. He is trying to say that we're trying to make white people guilty simply because they're white. No. That's the same way that we say to you, you have tried to make black people criminals just because they're black. And I say to you, that is not the case. We are more than that. And let's keep it 100. If we put the statistics up, when they say black on black crime, guess what? Every single race, there's white on white crime, Mexicans on Mexicans, Asians on Asians. They just don't put the numbers up. The media doesn't want to put that up. The media wants to talk about black people. But I want y'all to, I want you to study. I want you to read, and you will see. White on white crime is higher than black on black crime. Just so you know. Okay? Do your homework. Read. On top of that, the whole idea that they're trying to turn this country against all Spanish people, especially Mexicans, when they say, "Oh, the Mexican cartel is bringing in the fentanyl." And let me help y'all with something. I want you to go back and do your homework on this too. I am in addiction, okay? So this is something that I hold very dear to me, and because it's my job. It's not just my job. I love each and every addict. I don't care if they're my patient or not. I love if it's an addict, if I see them on the street corner, if they're home, I love them as well, and I embrace them. I try to give back to my community. That means I give back to the homeless community. They might not have a coat. They might not have food to eat. They might not even have shoes. I try to do all of that. Have done all of that, okay? So, yes, I've talked to a number of addicts. I've also talked to a number of people that are in law enforcement. I've talked to pre-trial. I've talked the public defense, the defender's office, all of that, right? And this idea that we're so ignorant that we would believe that the Mexican cartel is the only way we're getting fentanyl. The ignorance in that is just crazy to me. Because I want y'all to understand, how is it that they are the ones that's bringing it in when we're the ones that manufactured it and made it? Come on, think. Am I suggesting that the Mexican cartel or that they don't deal in drugs? They do. Every single race has dealt with or is dealing with the sale of narcotics. There's Asian drug dealers. There's African drug dealers. There's Colombian drug dealers. There's white drug dealers. Like, stop the idea and the ignorance in that. And then this idea, and then, Marjorie Taylor Greene on the House floor the other day made a whole announcement about how that the Joe Biden, because he wouldn't lock down the border, the numbers are higher in fentanyl overdoses. Okay, the ignorance in that statement is because that is untrue. More fentanyl came into the borders when Donald Trump was in office than it has under the Biden administration. And if you don't believe me, read it. Find out for yourself. Am I saying, let me just tell you, no life, none, zero, should be lost to overdoses. Any loss is too much. Because at the end of the day, that's somebody's child, that's somebody's brother, mother, cousin, whatever. It is somebody else's family. So no loss is okay. But again, I want you to educate yourself. And I want you, seriously, I want you to read about. So before you go out and vote this November, and also I want you to do something else. First, get registered to vote. If you're not registered, please get registered to vote. Then I want you to make sure that you do your homework on everyone that is on that ballot, okay? Every one of them. Do your homework. Make sure that you make your vote count. And that means you actually have to go out and vote. But I want you to vote for people that you've actually done your homework on, and they have aligned themselves with the same views and the same values that you believe. Now, not just lip service. I want you to see what they've done. Look at their track record. What have they done? Have they fought for the rights? Have they fought for the same beliefs and things that you believe in? That is what I want you to do. Do your homework before you just go out here and do any and everything, okay? Or you decide, oh, my vote doesn't count. So it does count. And I'm telling you, how you know that it counts is because if he created a whole network to get your black dollars because he knew the power of your voice and your black dollars. He knew the power in that. So if you use that power to go out here and vote, trust me when I tell you, it will count. Again, I'm not telling you to cut off your subscription. I really would like for you to, but I'm just telling you because, again, we're funding a network that is anti-black. So again, if that, but if that's what you want to do, that's what you're more than welcome. I just believe we can find another streaming network that we can find other black movies on. Again, I mean, there's other networks. Some of us be like, oh, well, I don't like this. Listen, again, I don't particularly watch a lot of Zeus network shows, but at least they're black. So I don't care if you move it over there. What I'm saying to you is this. If we're going to make a network big, if we're going to make them, make sure that we're making the right network that actually is by black people, or that is supporting, even if they're not black, if they're supporting and they're working in areas that support black Americans, then by all means. But let me just tell you, I'm telling you, Tubi Network is owned by the same man that owns Fox Network. That as soon as he built up his network off of the backs of black America and black actors, he canceled those shows because he got what he needed. The minute that he saw that he was losing money, he created another black show because he knew the power in what we possess. So this is what I want you to do today. Take a chance on yourself, because guess what? God gave you two things when he woke you up today. He gave you a choice and a chance. So I want you to choose to educate yourself. And then I want you to take a chance on, after you've educated yourself, take a chance on making decisions that will help you and our community. So again, this is Stacy's Closet. As no one has told you today, let me be the first to tell you that I love you, I do, and there is absolutely nothing you can do about it. Now, I'm not even sure what title I'm going to put for the title of this particular Stacy's Closet, because I just wanted to educate you on the whole, we're in a voting crisis right now. But I just wanted to educate you. So I'm not even sure what the title is going to be. But whatever it is, please tune in, watch it, and I hope you enjoy it. Comment, leave whatever comments or statements you want to leave. You can ask me any questions. If if you don't agree with anything, let me know. We can talk about it. Again, this is Stacy's Closet, and I love you.